Hey YouTube. Hey YouTube, it's Virtual Nunchucks. Wanted to apologize first and foremost for not being live yesterday. We had planned on doing that. But my parents decided to surprise me. Yesterday was my birthday, so they decided to surprise me and they took me out to lunch and we just hung out for a long time with family and stuff, and so that's what happened. And also, the reason I'm not live today is because I have a really here, let me see. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I have what is beginning to look like a severe ear infection, and I've been taking sinus medicine. I've been doing the drops, trying to prevent it from being infected, which is part of the reason I'm not even wearing my headset today to talk to you guys. But I wanted to do something today since I didn't do anything yesterday. So I thought what I would do is post a video on my thoughts about this wonderful thing. Okay, this is a Qanba drone. For those of you who don't know, I don't know how you wouldn't know. It's been out for a long time. If you're in the arcade stick fighting scene, you've probably seen these. This is the budget end of Qanba. This was their answer for the budget stick. Okay, it is The box says it's PS3 and PS4 compatible, but I think I saw somewhere where you can also play it on PC. I'm not 100% sure on that because I haven't tried it yet because I've been having to deal with my ears and everything else, trying to get that cleared up. So I don't know, but I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. I've been playing with it for I don't know, I want to say about a week now, or give or take over the weekend and stuff. But the buttons, I've heard a lot of people. I'm new to fight sticks. I've never really used one except for way back in the day. When Nintendo had one and things like that. I never got involved with it because it was just easier.
By the way, we got Black Ops 4.
It was just easier at the time to use a controller. But because my hands hurt when I use a controller in a fighting game anymore, I wanted to see if this would help my hands and make it easier for me to play things like Injustice 2 or some fighting game or something like that. See if it would help. Now the buttons, as you can tell, they're really loud. The stick's pretty loud, but like I said, the thing I was really concerned with was how is it going to help me as a disabled gamer with fine motor skills. I have problems with that. I've already showed you guys. This takes great effort to do things like that. So I don't have great motor skills. I don't have great control over some things because of my cerebral palsy and things. So I was kind of curious because this is obviously a stick, so you can kind of grab it and manipulate it however you want. Okay. So I started to play with it, and played with the button configurations and things to try to figure out what would be best for me to be able to press all my buttons that I need for throws, for meter burn, especially for things like that. And as I began to play with it, I noticed that, and I wish I had some footage to show you guys, but I noticed that I found my button configuration that works for me, okay? And I started to play with it. And I've noticed things like, for example, I play a lot of Black Canary and a lot of Atrocitus, and so I've noticed that things like a down back 1 for Atrocitus' Blood Pool, or a down back 3 for Canary's Somersault option, her special move, or her down back triangle for her Canary drop. Those particular moves are extremely easy once you get the timing down on your down back and then your button press. Okay, those moves are extremely easy on this stick. The one problem that I had, and I think it's mostly because of timing and things like that that I haven't worked out yet with this stick, is the moves that require the forward, or no, I'm sorry, the back forward and a triangle, or back forward too, like for example Batman's Batarangs, uh, Canary Soaring Knee, Atrocitus's Napalm Vomit. Um, those moves don't come out for me with this stick as easily as they uh, would on controller. But I kind of think, like I said, I kind of think it's the timing thing with the controller, because down, back, back, forward, it does take a minute, and then sometimes it'll register the button press right away, and sometimes it won't, and I think that's partly because I haven't finished the complete motion of back forward before I hit the button. So that's just a basic uh, probably, like I said, a timing issue, probably just getting familiar with the stick. The hardest thing that I have found is the muscle memory, obviously, because I'm used to playing on the controller, so all my button presses I'm used to being certain places, and they're not, obviously, on a controller, or on this fight stick, because the button layout is different. So, but the main thing that I was worried about, and again, Qanba doesn't sponsor me, so my wife purchased this, and and so we spent our own money on it. The main thing I was concerned with was, can I even play this anymore? Is this something I'm gonna have to give up because my hands hurt, because I'm always in a lot of pain? And the answer to that, thankfully, is no. This controller, once you get used to the idea of having to spread it out like a keyboard, and once you get your hands used to that, like I said, I played it solid for a weekend to practice and to get my hands used to it. Thankfully, I can say that my hands, my muscles are a little irritated at me because they're not used to having to spread like that when you're playing a game. But thankfully, my hands don't hurt the way that they did. So once I get used to the stick, and once I get used to things, how they work exactly, and get comfortable with it, and get my timing down and all that, I think this will be a good option for me with my hands, the way they hurt, and also for my motor skill development, because I took a lot of therapy to learn how to type. So typing is not hard for me. So basically, running your hands up and down these buttons are actually not difficult for me, because I had a lot of practice in school and different things typing. Now you can see this right here. This is my little knot that's forming below my ear, so I'm trying to treat that. That's why I'm not live again. So yeah, you can see it though, it's right there. But I just wanted to say that I really think this is a good option for someone who maybe can't do this anymore without their hands hurting after a few a few minutes, a few hours of doing this. This might be a suitable option for someone who can manipulate a stick, um, and press buttons like on a keyboard and mouse. If you can do that, if you're comfortable doing that, it does not hurt your hands. As a matter of fact, it actually relaxes my hands, which is kind of nice. And the longer I play, the more relaxed they get, which is interesting, because I never thought about that when I was typing and stuff at work and things like that. So it actually helps a lot. So I do recommend it for someone who is having some controller pain for this. And if you are able to practice enough with it to get your muscle memory down, and to get familiar with the buttons and different things, I think it would be beneficial for someone like myself with a disability, not obviously a severe one, but someone that can manipulate their hands fairly well, but finds different things, smaller things, more fine. I'm trying to think of the word. Um, all the fine stuff, like manipulating small buttons this close, or manipulating your hands and having difficulty with the small things. This might be a better option for someone like that. Who doesn't have to have necessarily the really small minute. I can't even think of the word I want, but anyway, I think you get what I'm trying to say. If you're having trouble with the small controller and you're having trouble with your hands moving it back and forth and pressing the buttons in time and doing the rolls and the things and the different special moves, and you can't get them to come out, you might want to try something like this, because the stick does allow for more wrist movement than this. So I think it did help me a lot. It has helped me a lot. So I think that it might be a suitable option for someone that has trouble with their hands. Because you can, even if you have to, I don't, because I don't have that kind of trouble, but even if you have to just grab it and turn it like this, even if you have to grab it and use your hand like this, I think this is a better option, because if you can manipulate your wrist up, down, roll it, whatever you need to do, back and forward, then I think maybe that might be a better option for someone that's having trouble. This stick right now on Amazon, by the way, is $58 and I believe 40 cents. And it's nice because I wrapped my cord around it. I realize that, but I was having enough trouble with my hands one day, so I wrapped my cord around it. But you can stick. There's a little cubby hole right here. You can stick your cord in. You can coil it up and shove it in here, and it makes it very portable and it's very, very lightweight. The only thing that I don't like is if you're sitting in a chair, okay, like I do. You sit in the chair and you put this on your lap, it is going to move around quite a bit. So if you have the option, what I ended up doing is I ended up sitting on my love seat. I don't like turning my head like this, but I ended up sitting on my love seat, putting it in the chair that I normally sit in, used that as a table, and I played a few rounds of endless like that to see if that would help. It did, actually. It helped me quite a lot. So with the movement of the stick anyway, with this back and forth like this. So that could be an option. If you have the option to do that, you might want to consider that. I don't know, guys. This has been about 13 minutes long, but I really do recommend this stick. I think it's a good stick. I think it's not, other than the people that, recommend having, what's that? Sanwa buttons. I tried. I could think of Deshi, Sanwa Deshi, but I couldn't think of the first word. I don't know anything about that. I know that they're supposed to be the best buttons, and they're quiet, and they're very responsive and stuff like that. But I find that this is responsive. I find that this is pretty responsive. And for the price, you can't go wrong. This actually can be modded. So, like, for example, and I was talking about this with my wife, so if these buttons don't work out for me, if they end up going bad, or the stick goes bad, or whatever, I can take this. There are several videos on YouTube to show you how to do it, but you can actually replace the ball top already. All you have to do is unscrew this and get a screwdriver, unscrew that, and this ball top will come right off, and you can replace it. But I've already seen modded videos where you can open up. I don't recommend doing that because obviously it'll void your warranty. So hopefully it doesn't go out until after my warranty expires. But if you want to, you can open up this stick fairly easily and switch out the buttons and switch out the joystick if you have to replace it. So I mean, for your money and for the option to actually modify your stick the way you want it to be, this isn't bad, because you can buy the parts to replace your buttons and your stick. fairly cheaply in the right places. So this is an option, and this is one that I definitely recommend for people who have difficulty with their hands and find it easier to do things like type and spread your hands out and use your fingers that way. This is definitely a good idea if this is your first time using a stick in a very long time, like myself. It's good for the price. You don't have to spend hundreds of dollars and then find out it doesn't work for you. You can spend just under $60 and have a good quality stick that you can test out. And then if you do like it and you want to replace the buttons because they're too loud or because they don't respond the way you think they should or whatever, you can still spend a little money later on down the road and replace the buttons inside the stick and do it fairly easily. Because all you really have to do is unscrew the bottom of this and lift the panels up and move a couple of wires around and stuff like that. And somebody could probably help you with that. So anyway, that's just my thoughts on the stick and on the product. If you like this review, leave me a like. If you like what we're doing on the channel, leave me a like. Leave me a comment if you enjoyed. It does show your support if you like the videos, and if you leave us a comment, it shows YouTube that you actually care about the channel, and they keep track of stuff like that. But you can follow me on Facebook.com/virtualnunchucks, Twitter at @vnunchucks, and also coming in January the 14th, twitter.tv/virtualnunchucks. That is still on the table, assuming I can get all this cleared up, because I'm not even allowed to wear a headset right now, because it'll just sweat and ruin my ears at this point. So I can't even do that. So y'all forgive me while I'm medicating. Okay, I'm medicating to try to clear up this ear thing, and like I said, I was with my parents and family and stuff for my birthday yesterday, and that was a surprise because I had no intention of doing that. I didn't even know they were going to do that. They just called me and said, "Hey, we're on the way to the house and be ready to go because we're going to take you to lunch," and then stuff like that. So anyway, so you guys give me a couple days. We did get, like Ryan said a minute ago, we did get Black Ops 4. He and I are probably gonna once I get medicine in my system and stuff and get a few things done around here, we're gonna probably play some together and check it out. And
I'm already checking it out.
Yeah, he's already checking it out. I kind of played a little bit with it last night when it was finished installing, like he was in bed. But we'll check it out and we'll let you know, and probably do a review of it when we figure all this stuff out and we play with it enough, and give you guys our thoughts on it. I will go ahead and tell you that as soon as I can get this cleared up with my ears and everything, we'll go back to doing our live broadcasts, Takeover Tuesdays and stuff like that. So I'm not going anywhere. I've got some medical issues right now, and I need to take care of those. So just give me a little bit of time. Also, I wanted to say that I will go ahead and put this up for the review for the stick. And so you'll have this, and then if I can get this cleared up without having to go through too much trouble, then fine. I will tell you also that tomorrow I'm going to try again to either go live, or I'm going to try to put something up on the channel for you guys tomorrow. For the rest of the week, it's kind of touch and go because I really don't know how this is going to work out, and if I have to go to the doctor and have them do some weird stuff, then that's something that has to be done. I don't know, because it's it's doing all kinds of stuff. So just keep that in mind, okay? And then my wedding anniversary is coming up next week as well, so I would not want to tick off Virtual Mom. So I'll keep you guys in the loop as to what's going to happen. I wanted to get this out as soon as I could so that you guys understood that I had not forgotten about yesterday. We didn't get back in time to do anything, and my wife was actually home because of her medical issue, and she wasn't feeling real well, so I didn't want to make a whole lot of noise while she was trying to rest and take care of herself. So anyway, so that's the way it is, and I hope you guys have a great day. And I hope to have some content on the channel for you guys tomorrow, even if it's Ryan and I just goofing around. Maybe we'll record some gameplay and just throw it up on the channel for you guys tomorrow and stuff like that. I don't know, because it's fairly easy to do over there at the PlayStation. You know, you just hit the record button and let it go. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have something for you tomorrow and the rest of the week. But like I said, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, probably next week, I will not be doing anything because, like I said, Virtual Mom will not let me do that on our anniversary weekend. It's not happening. So I just let you know. Okay. All right. As always, I'm glad you guys came by. I'm glad you guys paid attention, and I'm glad you guys stuck it out. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, and we will see y'all tomorrow.